I don't know. Who's it favoring?
I don't know if it's just because I'm getting older now or what, but I feel like Gervonta is a hell of a fighter, but he needs to get his mental together. When I hear some of his interviews and I see some of the stuff that he's saying, I can just tell that he's not in love with the sport no more. I can tell that he didn't get it.
Who would you like to see Gervonta face next after this?
I would like to see Gervonta fight for a world title.
Against who?
Is he at 135, right?
135, 140.
Oh, it's only one champ at 135, and that's Devin Haney.
Tank has always had critics, but one of the loudest isn't another male fighter. It's Claressa Shields. The two-time Olympic gold medalist and undisputed champion has never been shy about her opinions on Tank. She believes he's overrated and gets more hype than he deserves. After Tank's controversial draw against Lamont Roach, she spoke up again.
I mean,
we gotta think before we.
Yeah, I'm just saying that I think that Tank is a great fighter and Roach is a great fighter, and they both had a good fight. I think Tank is going through things that we don't know that he's going through mentally, so that's why I kind of like don't want to. I think that whenever I say something about him, it goes viral, and then they make it a way for us to beef or whatever.
Pile on.
Yeah, and it's more of like I ain't got to be friends with him, but I don't hate the dude, and I wish him well. I think that if he get his mental together, he'll fight better.
Many fans expected Tank's fight with Roach to be another dominant performance, but that didn't happen. Instead, he looked shaky, making people question if he was really as great as advertised. Claressa Shields didn't hold back. Right after the fight, she said, "Might be the perfect time for Tank to finally get that therapy he wanted. If he can get his mind right, he can get back in the game." This wasn't just a random comment. Shields knew exactly what she was doing. Tank had previously talked about therapy helping him deal with the tough world of boxing. By bringing it up after a fight that hurt his reputation, Shields was taking a direct shot at him. And it wouldn't be the last.
Ain't never laced up, and you think Shakur gotta prove something to you. You sound stupid. Go glove up first. I done seen that boy do some miraculous things inside of a gym. Beat guys up from his weight class all the way up to 178.
Because the big one, they want, Shakur and Tank. That's the one everybody talking about. That's the one they want. Tank
is mad at me, boy, and that lead up.
And you gonna go crazy in that?
Yeah, let me call him.
But Tank wasn't about to let that slide. It didn't take long for him to fire back. He clapped back, saying, "How's a woman boxer going to think she can take down a male pro fighter? The fact that she even believes that is why I don't even have anything to say. Can't argue with a deluded woman." Classic Tank, direct, dismissive, and ready to stir things up. But if there's one thing about Claressa Shields, it's that she doesn't back down. She's been saying for years that she could beat male boxers, especially Tank. She's sparred with them, trained with them, and has always been confident that most of them, including Tank, wouldn't stand a chance against her. Shields has been saying this for a long time. Back in 2019, she boldly claimed she could take down Keith Thurman and even give Gennady Golovkin a tough fight. And she wasn't just saying it for attention, she truly believed it. When it came to Tank, her opinion was even stronger. To her, he's just a small fighter, someone she could break down with her skills and experience. She's always dismissed the idea that size is a big advantage. "I spar with men all the time. I drop them. I bust their noses," she once said in an interview. She never claimed she could beat every male boxer, but she had no doubt that some, like Tank, weren't as unbeatable as they thought. In fact, she even sees younger fighters like Keith Shawn giving Tank a tough fight.
Would you still favor Gervonta over Keith Shawn right now, and why?
No, I mean, it'd be a really good fight, but like I said, Tank got a lot of stuff that Keyshawn had to go against, but Keyshawn got something that you can't take, and that's that self-belief in yourself. He got that dog, he got a good chin. He keep coming to fight you, he don't care what you're doing. Like, that's a dangerous fighter who's not scared to lose, who's willing to go out on a shield. Keyshawn's a hard fighter to beat.
This isn't the first time Shields and Davis have clashed. Their beef has been going on for years, fueled by constant back and forths on social media. Just last year, things got personal when Davis insulted Shields' looks, calling her a French bulldog. Shields didn't hold back. She fired right back, bringing up his past legal troubles. "I'm so happy you think I look like a French bulldog because you only beat up the ones you think are cute," she shot back. It was a brutal response, one that had fans talking for days.
Tank.
I am so happy that you think I look like a French bulldog and you consider me ugly.
Shields has never respected the way Tank carries himself in the sport. She's been vocal about how much of his success came from having Floyd Mayweather by his side. To her, he was never self-made. He was guided, protected, and built up by one of the greatest boxers of all time. She even said, "If you ain't had Floyd right there holding your hand, I don't know where you would be at." That hit hard because it played into one of the biggest criticisms Tank has faced, that he hasn't truly fought the toughest competition and that his career has been carefully managed. But Tank has already made it clear, he's achieved his goals, no matter what anyone says.
That father made them box. I had to box. I had to get myself out of my situation. You know what I'm saying? Like when I was coming to, I didn't say I'm gonna be this
champion.
Yeah, undisputed champion. Nigga, I was saying I need to get money. I need to get out of my situation. You get what I'm saying? So that's another thing why I say, like, once I get to, while I'm at this level, like, it's no point, like, it's no more point to prove to myself. Because I already, you feel me?
But what seems to irritate Shields the most is how people act like Tank is untouchable. She's never bought into that hype, and the Roach fight only gave her more fuel, a draw against a fighter most expected Tank to dominate. To Shields, that was all the proof she needed that he isn't as great as people claim. And when she made her therapy comment, she wasn't just talking about his mental health. She was questioning his entire career, his whole image.
I got more Olympic gold medals than him. He can't say that I can't box.
Yeah.
So what else you gonna say? Man, she ugly. And you're short. So it'd be like when he went that route, and I've been like an advocate for him. Like when he got into the trouble, I didn't share nothing.
But she wasn't stopping there. Claressa Shields wasn't about to let the controversy surrounding Tank's fight with Lamont Roach Jr. fade away. To her, the whole situation only confirmed what she's believed for years. Tank is a dangerous fighter, but is also just another pretty boy of the sport, hyped beyond his worth. And worse, in her eyes, he was making excuses. Shields had a big problem with Tank complaining about grease in his hair affecting his performance. Grease? You worried about grease? A lot of male boxers fight with blood in their eyes, she fired back. To her, it was laughable that a fighter with Tank's reputation would even mention something like that. This was supposed to be the most feared knockout artist in boxing, the guy who could put anyone to sleep with one punch. And now he was talking about his hair. Shields made it clear, real fighters push through way worse. If Tank wanted to be taken seriously as a true warrior, he needed to start acting like one. And while Tank's fans might not like her argument, many people think she has a point.
Can bang, can box, and I think that he's a better boxer than Tank. Now, is he a knockout artist? No. But that fight, Shakur got enough power and the skill set to where he can offset some stuff with Tank. Tank knows that. And if Shakur's so easy to beat, Tank should just fight him.
She didn't stop there. The two-time Olympic gold medalist kept breaking down the fight, explaining why she believed Roach had done enough to win. If one judge had Tank 115 to 113 and the others had it even at 114 to 114, I believe Roach won the fight because that knee he took was 100% a knockdown, Shields argued. She wasn't alone in this belief. Many in the boxing world felt the referee made a mistake by not counting that moment as a knockdown. And Shields made sure to remind everyone, if the roles had been reversed and Tank was in Roach's position, the call would have been very different. But Shields wasn't just talking about this fight. She was using it to prove a bigger point she had made before. To her, Tank had always been protected. She had been saying for years that he was given favorable matchups, and now, after a controversial draw against Roach, she felt like she had even more proof. They've been doing this for him, she said. When it's a real fight, they make sure it doesn't go against him. She didn't outright call it a robbery, but she made it clear, she believed Tank got lucky, just like he always had.
Are you really that good or not? The cream is going to rise to the top regardless. So even though your career is manufactured, you still got to go out there and win. Even though you get these opportunities, you still got to make them count. Every opportunity they gave to Tank, most of the time it ended in a knockout. So he made it count. The thing is, the entire time he was a protected fighter the entire time. So now you're at the mountaintop. People looking at you like you Floyd Mayweather, you Pernell, you Roy, like you pound for pound. They looking at you like you are a real.
And she wasn't alone. Shakur Stevenson had been waiting for a moment like this. Right after the fight, he hopped on X, gloating, "I made at least 20K tonight on Lamont." He had predicted that Roach would give Davis trouble, and when asked who he thought won, he didn't hesitate. Lamont, Stevenson told Fight Hub TV, "We're going to see if Tank really wants this fight now. I'm the best fighter in boxing. I've been saying this."
All the talk throughout the years, what you would do against somebody like Tank, your style versus his, was that not the blueprint? And can you not do 10x that?
I'm not even going to shit on her, but look, I want some money tonight. That's all I'm asking for. I want money tonight.
Shakur, tell us something, bro. Like, what did you think about the decision?
I ain't going to shit on him.
Okay.
We still got to see each other. He say, he want to fight me, so we going to fight.
But what do you think about the decision?
I told him I won.
You told him I won. Got you. I told.
Even Terence Crawford jumped in, not one to hold back when it comes to Tank. After the fight, Crawford bluntly stated, "Roach won. And that should have been called a knockdown. Let's see what happens." Crawford has never been shy about his opinions on Davis, and this time was no different. Like Shields, he saw the whole situation as just another example of how boxing politics worked in favor of certain fighters. Davis, for his part, wasn't about to start taking advice from Shields, Stevenson, Crawford, or anyone else. "You're just some haters," he said in response to the criticism. But Shields wasn't done. She reminded everyone that this wasn't the first time Tank had looked vulnerable. She pointed to his fight with Isaac Cruz, where he went the distance and had people questioning whether he was really as unbeatable as his record suggested. "Ain't nothing new," she said. "Every time he fights someone real, it's a struggle."
I don't think Pitbull deserves a rematch.
Really? So the fight wasn't as good that you could do a rematch?
It was one of Tank's better fights. That means
But that's probably his toughest opponent that he's had.
The feud between Shields and Davis was already heated, but this time, it feels like it has reached a whole new level. Shields isn't just calling out Tank, she's tearing down his entire reputation, piece by piece. And with names like Shakur Stevenson and Terence Crawford backing her up, the noise isn't going away anytime soon. Funny enough, none of what Shields is saying can really be called hate. As much as she's going after Tank, there's truth in some of her points. What fans seem to dislike the most isn't just what she's saying, it's how confidently she stands up against male boxers.
Ryan, you're just fast, Ryan,
I will
and you're
literally
actually
hit
big.
you in your temple so bad you won't even know what hit you.
Okay, Ryan, so when you gonna come do it?
Nah, it'll be be there with smelling salts.
I'm asking the question. I'm asking the question because
Yeah, have the
I
We're gonna get
I got a boxing ring at my gym, and if you
got dropped by a no name.
Ryan, you talking about something that was 5 years ago. I'm happy you brought that up. I'm glad you brought it up.
Claressa Shields rarely sees eye to eye with Tank, but when she recently came across that viral footage of him refusing to engage in a street fight, she had something to say. For once, it wasn't just straight-up criticism. Instead, Shields used the moment to make a bigger point, one that, on the surface, seemed to put her and Tank on the same side. But knowing Shields, it wasn't that simple. It never is. The two-time Olympic gold medalist has made it clear she doesn't respect Davis the way most of the boxing world does. So was this really a moment of unity? Or was Shields just playing mind games, making sure her criticisms always seemed fair before going right back to tearing him down?
And if he's to be successful, how would he do that?
To be Tank?
Yeah.
Now you want me to give somebody the game plan on how to be Tank?
You'll be a great trainer because you have the skills.
Don't like me, so I ain't gonna get nobody the recipe.
The video showed a man walking up to Davis, acting like a fan at first, then suddenly switching up, trying to bait him into a street fight. This wasn't just some random challenge. It was straight up clout chasing. The guy wanted to prove something, maybe even get a viral moment out of it. But Davis wasn't falling for it. Tank knew better. He didn't engage, didn't react, didn't even entertain it. Eventually, the guy gave up and walked away, throwing in a well, God bless, man, as if that made it any less pathetic.
Gervonta Davis, right? What's good, brother? Hey, man, I was just trying to catch a friendly fade with you. I know you do all that boxing shit. You feel me? For some money. I got money. You ain't the only one with money. Like, a little fade. Something that's not orchestrated on live TV, but just on some hood shit. I put belt to ass. Well, God bless, man. It looked like you turning down the fade. God bless. Jesus is good, or whatever. Whatever you worship, Buddha, all that. I'm a Zoe. God bless everybody. Y'all look very uncomfortable. It's not that deep. All right, bye.
Shields saw the clip and reacted instantly. See, that's why I trashed that troll up. Stop playing all the time, she tweeted, reminding everyone of a time she had to deal with something similar. But here's where it got interesting. Shields wasn't just making a general point. She was making sure people knew that, unlike Davis, she wouldn't have walked away. She wasn't really defending Tank. Instead, she was drawing a line between them, making it clear that while he might back down, she never would.
The big one, they want, Shakur and Tank. That's the one everybody talking about. That's the one they want. Tank
is be mad at me, boy, and that lead up.
And you gonna go crazy in that?
You're gonna be calling me ugly for real then?
Do you think that's a 50-50?
I'm not gonna ever dismiss a fighter. I think that Tank got some great skills and got some hard ass punches.
Mm-hmm.
He's so explosive, but so is Shakur. Yeah. Shakur has, to me, faced harder challenges.
That's the thing with Shields. Even when she seems neutral, there's always a deeper meaning behind what she's saying. She made it clear that she has no patience for people treating professional fighters like NPCs in a video game, as if they're supposed to fight on command just because someone walks up to them. I'm going to piece him up. Just sign his waiver, she added. But that last part wasn't just about random street fights, it was a deeper shot at Tank. Shields was saying that she wouldn't need an excuse to throw hands, and that's been one of her biggest criticisms of Davis all along.
Tank said something to me. I said something to him. He said something back to me. I said something back to him. He got angry. And that's what it is. I'm a fan of his boxing. He's a great boxer. Needs to fight more stiff competition for sure. But hey, he's great in his own right. He's a knockout artist. I wish him.
Shields believes Tank gets too many excuses, and she wasn't going to let this moment pass without making that clear. It all ties back to what she's been saying for years. She doesn't see him as the unstoppable force that his fans do. To her, Tank is just another fighter who's been overhyped, protected, and given too many outs whenever things don't go his way. And in her eyes, his response to the Lamont Roach Jr. fight was just more proof of that.
He's human, and we're entitled to our own opinion, our own thoughts, our own feelings, and I just... he said something to me. I said what I said back. It is what it is. I ain't got nothing against it. Hey, man. I'm all about positivity and prosperity, baby. I ain't got nothing against nobody.
After the draw, Tank had plenty to say about what went wrong. He criticized the judging and Roach's tactics. But to Shields, it was just another excuse, another way for him to dodge full responsibility, and she wasn't buying it. But this wasn't just about the Roach fight. Shields was making a bigger point about who Tank really is as a fighter. To her, this wasn't just one bad night. It was a pattern. She's never been shy about saying she believes she could beat Tank in a fight. And to her, that's not just talk, she truly means it. If anything, she feels she deserves more credit for even putting it out there.
What do a woman gotta do to get to where Gervonta Davis and Ryan Garcia and Canelo are at? What else can I do as a woman fighter? I beat everybody. I said that in the article. I fought the best. 3-time undisputed. 3-division world champ. I fought at 68, 60, and 54. Beat the best that there was at the weight classes. What else? Listen to me. What else can I do to become the face of boxing?
For years, Shields has seen Tank as too small, too hyped, and far from invincible. In her eyes, he's not a fighter who dominates. He's a fighter who gets favorable matchups. And when things get tough, instead of owning it, he makes excuses. That's what made this moment so interesting. At first, It seemed like Shields was defending Tank, calling out people who challenge pro fighters on the street. But in reality, she was making a bigger point. She was once again setting herself apart from him. Tank might walk away from a fight. She never would. Tank might complain about grease in his hair. She'd fight through blood in her eyes.
Clearly in there, man. That's what I want. I thought I did enough to get the victory over a spectacular fighter. I told y'all from the beginning, man, that I got the skills to pay the. Yeah, I've been telling y'all that.
And to top it off, Shields made sure everyone knew she was still in the game. She pointed out that the Michigan Unarmed Combat Commission had just lifted her suspension after testing positive for chill leaf following her heavyweight title fight against Danielle Perkins. That wasn't just a random update. It was her way of making a statement. Even with setbacks, even with controversy, she's still fighting. And to her, that's the biggest difference between her and Tank. She's had to prove herself over and over, take tough fights, move up in weight, and deal with constant criticism. Tank? In her eyes, he's been protected. That's why this beef isn't going anywhere. Even when it looks like there's a moment of unity, it's just another setup for Shields to remind the world why she doesn't respect Davis the way others do. This isn't ending anytime soon. What do you think? Drop your thoughts below and don't forget to like and subscribe for more updates.